I have here in front of me my marble chessboard, and I'm using it as a display for this video to talk about what chess is. First of all, chess is a game of logic, and players are required to think logically in order to win. So that means that chess exercises the mind because it forces the players to analyze and think ahead. And they have to figure out complex, individual, yet interdependent factors. It has been said that chess is a good way to learn about life. And just like life, you have to watch out for the potholes. If you hit a pothole, that's it. You get hurt, you get into trouble, bad things happen. So, a person with the ability to win at chess is ready to deal with complex problems on any personal or business level. So, that is the analogy of chess with life. So learning how to play chess will help you learn how to solve problems in your own life. Now, first of all, or second of all, now that we know that chess is a game of logic, chess also represents medieval times. The pawns are up front. Let me point that out for you. These up here in the front are all pawns. And the pawns, they usually, they do represent serfs or laborers. And as you can see, there are more pawns than any other piece on the board. All right, and the reason for that is that they are of low rank. And they are used to sacrifice the more valuable pieces behind them. They are used to protect these pieces up here, which are of higher rank. And this is the rook, the knight, bishop. This is the king, the tallest piece, queen, bishop, knight, rook. When you set up the board, always make sure that this light area is to your right. And when you set up the pieces, make sure queen goes on her color. Light goes on her color. Dark over here goes on her color. So you have two knights, two bishops, two rooks, one queen, one king, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pawns that could be used to sacrifice the other pieces. As a pawn, life was hard. The laborers, the serfs, they were usually sacrificed to protect the wealthy landowners for them to escape harm. The castle, as I pointed out, the rook on the end pieces, that's usually the refuge or the home. There's one on each side. And the knight, he's a professional soldier. And his job is to protect the other higher pieces. Bishop, queen, king, and the rook. So that's their purpose. To protect and sacrifice those pieces just as pawns do. Then the next rank would be the bishop, which would represent the priest or the church itself. And, of course, back in those times, religion played a major role, so it's no wonder how that entered into the game of chess. You have, of course, a bishop on two sides. Now, the next piece is the queen and the king. This is the queen, a little bit smaller than the king. And the queen, she's the only piece in the game that represents a woman. And as a woman, and as a queen, she is the most powerfulest piece on the board. So you never want to lose your queen. Because if you lose your queen, you're definitely bound to lose the game, especially early on. So the queen is the most powerful, and that's the piece that you definitely want to save. You don't want to lose your queen. And why is the queen the most powerfulest piece? Well, the queen can move in any direction. That's first and foremost. So that's what makes her more powerful. But in another way, she's powerful. And the way that she was powerful back in those days was that she was next to the king. And as the consort for the king, she could influence the king. And the king would take her advice. So that's how the queen is very powerful. Because she could tell the king what to do. And usually the king would, listen to her advice. So that's why that's why she's considered very powerful. So, and that's why she often had more power than the king in medieval times. And the king, of course, is the tallest piece on the board, and he is well defended on the chessboard, just like in medieval life. And if you would lose your king, that means you lose your kingdom, and that was not good for anybody. That was not good for the pawns, for the knights, for the bishops. That's not good at all. Okay? Because that meant that, you would lose your kingdom to invading armies. And your life, of course, would change for the worse. So it was everybody's best interest, from the lowest piece to the highest piece, to protect your king. And if you lose the king, guess what? You lose the game, you lose your kingdom. So now that you have that information available, and hopefully that will get you to play with that in mind, of what the meaning of the pieces are. So once you learn the rank, and once you learn strategy, then you'll be able to improve your chess game, and then you can apply that to your personal life to solve any difficult problem or situation. And remember, don't fight it, light it. Until next time, Ache.